everyone. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert, and I want to thank you for joining me today. It's really a pleasure to have an audience to talk to, and I really appreciate that. I first want to start off by offering my condolences to all of the families in Texas that lost their children to that crazy incident that happened in the school, another school shooting. And, my heart goes out to them. And I know that's not enough. We as a nation have got to do better than what we've been doing. I have a granddaughter. She's 10 months old. She'll be going to school in 3 years, 4 years. And when we send our kids to school, we don't want to have to, worry if they're going to come home. It's like sending your kids to school now. It's like sending them off to fight a war. You got 10-year-old kids hiding in garbage cans, putting blood on their bodies to pretend like they're dead so they don't get shot. They have so much information on what to do because there's been so many school shootings. That's sad. I think that's just such a sad thing. So my heart goes out to everybody that, all the families that was involved in that. It's just so sad, and I don't know what else to say about that except that I hope and pray to God that our legislators and our, teachers and communities and parents and everybody just try to do a better job to be proactive to prevent that from happening. And I think it starts at home. For me, family is everything. I think everything starts at home because that's where, your first home, come home from the hospital, and that's where you get all your learning and teaching and everything. So, everybody's got to do a better job, myself included, It's just so sad. On another note, I just want to talk a little bit about some of the exciting, just to switch gears here, give some good news, some of the really, really exciting things that are happening right here at Soundview Community Media TV. We have this brand new show. Actually, it's a spinoff from Sound Off. It's called Connecticut at Your Service. This show is it's a live show. It comes on Tuesday evenings at 6:30, and there's a person featured, whether it's a business owner, community service person. The last one I watched, we had our executive director, John, on, and I thought he did an amazing job and getting the information out there. I feel like Soundview Community TV is just a great community resource for bringing information to our community. It's a great platform to do that, and so we're bringing in people that are like small business owners, reverse mortgage people, Medicare people, rent rebate experts, legal experts, community service, churches, anything that we think that can help our community come together and grow and just keep us informed. So that show, once again, the host of that show is Carmen Nieves, and it comes on live every single Tuesday at 6:30. And what she does, she features one person and she interviews them for like the first 15 minutes of the show. It's a half-hour show. And then at 6:45, they put the phone number up where if you're listening to the show, you could call in and be on TV. The number that you would call is 203-345-0103, and you call in at 6:45 p.m. We just kicked this show off a few weeks ago, and it's already taken off. Carmen is doing a wonderful job. She's had some great guests on. She's had civil rights attorneys, and there's just a whole list of other people. And I hope that I could, I'll get invited on her show too around Medicare season, so that I can offer a free confidential needs analysis to, the community as well, because Medicare has so many moving parts. It changes every year, and you have to keep up with the changes. So everybody has, whatever their field is, their category is, their expertise is. We want to inform our community as much as possible and give you as much information as possible, because without the information, you cannot take advantage of the benefits of, whatever the category is, whether it's legal, rent rebates, Medicare, what have you. And I just wanted to put that information out there because a gentleman called me. You can reach me at the number on the screen, and I can answer any questions about Medicare. And I do in-home visits, and it's all free. I do a free confidential needs analysis, but it's not live. This show is recorded. It's live on YouTube as you're watching it right now. But when you see it on channel 77 or 88 or Frontier or whatever, it is a recorded show. You can still call my number at any time, but it's just not live. Because I one Sunday morning, I thought it was so cute. I was making breakfast or whatever I was doing, having coffee, and I got a call from someone, and they said, "Am I live on TV?" I was like, "No, I'm standing in my kitchen." And they were so disappointed, and I feel so bad. I wish you would call back on Tuesday evenings at 6:45. You will be on the air. Everybody watching the show will hear your question or comment or suggestion or what have you. But that is the time that you can call in and talk to whoever the featured person is online or live, I should say. I thought it was so cute. I appreciate the call. Please call back. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I just want you to understand that this particular show is a recorded show. If you have any questions about Medicare, don't hesitate to give me a call. And if you if you know someone in the community, someone that's performing a good community service, I don't know, feeding the homeless, collecting clothes, or just whatever anyone is doing to help the community, you can always call in and give us your information. And who knows, maybe you'll be invited and get featured on the show for your service. We need people to know where to go. Like, for example, some churches hand out food boxes on Tuesdays at 12 o'clock. You need to know that. You need to have that information so that you can go. And also, if you happen to miss this show and you want to try to, convey something to somebody or repeat something that you've heard, you can always go to YouTube and watch this show again to get exactly what we said, where to go, just in case you don't have a pen or a pencil and you don't take down the phone number at that time. We are on YouTube, and that link is there, so you can look it up at any given time. So I want to mention one of the projects that I'm going to be doing, because I am an independent insurance broker for Medicare and life insurance. I am going to be doing a live in the lobby Medicare seminar, which is a free seminar, and it's just to give out free information for Medicare. It's going to be live in the lobby. I don't have a date yet, so I just want to kind of put it out there. I think it's going to be the last week in June. So just stay tuned, and I will, get you that information as soon as I get it. It just has a lot of moving parts, and we got to make sure everybody's available before we commit to a date. But it's going to be live in the lobby. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be live on Facebook, and we're also going to advertise it over radio 1400.am, which means that it will be live on the radio and it will be on demand. So we are really trying to get the information out there, especially about Medicare, because there's so much confusion when you hear those Medicare commercials. It doesn't apply to everyone. So we are going to be offering free confidential needs analysis to individuals to answer the questions and to just kind of set up a plan that's customized just for you, for your healthcare needs, your medications, your specialists, and your income. Because the generic information that they give out on TV just does not apply to everyone. Medicare is not a cookie cutter. You have to sit and ask the questions. And another thing, that we're going to be doing one on Medicare. So we're going to have people sitting in the audience. It's going to be just a few because it's a lobby, 4 or 5 people maybe. And then, we're going to be also going to be able at that time, since we're live on all these different platforms, where you could go onto Facebook and ask your questions. We'll have someone checking the live Facebook account. You could go onto YouTube, or you could call in on the phone. So I'll be giving you out all that detailed information that we're going to be doing, and all of this is going to take place, at Radio 1400 IML Productions, and it's all going to be free information to you, and it's only going to be an hour. So if you are in that category, or if you want to help your grandmother or your mother and you want to get as much information as possible, it's not going to cost you anything but an hour of your time to listen. I would, definitely tune into that. And it's also going to be on demand. So if you're working, like most people are working at 12 o'clock during the day, and that's the time that we're looking at right now, 12 o'clock. It's not sketched in stone, nothing is, because we have to get all of our people together. But it's going to be on demand, so you can always get the information. You can always get the phone numbers and call us. So I'm really excited about that because I'm passionate about what I do. I want to make sure that everyone has as much information as possible. Also, another thing that I would like to talk about is budgeting. We're all going to have to tighten our belts on our budget because the inflation is not going anywhere. I have just a regular 4-cylinder car, and it cost me $60 to fill it up in gas, and it's never costed that. Of course, I was on E. I had 10 more miles to go, and I filled it up, and it was actually $59.60. I call that $60 even. And and I drive a lot. I go to people's homes. I drive all over Connecticut. So I'm going to have to eat that cost. No matter what they charge for gas, I got to pay for it because that's how I make my living. But what I'm going to try to do is look at my budget and just take a good hard look and see where I can cut corners, or if I can cut corners. So that's what I'm recommending that everybody do, because we are all feeling the pressure or the pain of inflation right now. Food is a lot higher. So I'm trying to eat cheaper food, not going out as much. And sometimes going out is cheaper than buying and cooking because you need all the ingredients. I'm just trying to look for ways that I can cut back on. I have one of the things I'm going to cut out. I'm not going to cut out my gym membership because I love that. And it has to do with my health. I think health is the number one thing. If you're not healthy, then, not too much else really matters if you don't have good health. But I'm looking at things like I have a monthly car wash. I get my car washed. I pay monthly for that. It comes automatically out of my checking account. I have it and my husband has it. And so that's about, mine is 21, his is 24. So that's $45 a month. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you start cutting back little things like that are luxuries and not necessities, it's summertime. I could just go in the driveway and wash my own car instead of having to pay for that all the time. So, you want to take a look at your budget and cut back and just kind of deal with the necessities and try to cut out some of the luxuries, especially for entertainment. That's another thing where you can really cut down on your budget. You don't have to go out and spend money to be entertained. The weather is nice now. Ride a bike, go to the park and, do little things like that. Just, there's a lot of free concerts on the green and stuff like that. So you really got to be conscious of your budget. And last but not least, I'm not criticizing anybody for anything, full disclaimer. But if you smoke cigarettes, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I quit smoking cigarettes because I had 2 kids in daycare. And I was smoking a pack a day, and at the time I quit smoking cigarettes, they were only $4 a pack. I know they're a lot more than that now. I think that price is like maybe like $10 or $12 a pack. If you are a smoker, it is the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life. I don't know. I can't think of anything worse. When I quit smoking, I went through terrible withdrawal. It's really, really hard. But what I would recommend if you are a smoker, hopefully you're not smoking a pack a day like I was, try to just smoke less or smoke a half a cigarette. I used to smoke half and put it out. I mean, you got to be conservative. You really got to look at your budget and cut back wherever you can, however you can. And you have to look at everything that you're doing. You got to look at your food, your clothes, your habits like smoking, going to the movies and things like that. So, and cable vision, you have to look at what you're watching on TV as well. So there's a lot of ways you can cut back on your budget. That's one of the things I recommend with inflation. Other than that, we're just going to have to wait it out and look on the bright side of things. Look at the people in Ukraine. Look at what they have to go through. So I feel better already. These people are losing their homes. They're losing everything they work for, their lives, babies, food, every single thing. They're losing everything that they work for their entire life. Their retirements, their homes, their country is just being shelled all the time. And they're just bombing the whole country. All because of, some people are just wired differently. I don't want to go down that road and just criticize anybody, but we in the United States of America, we live in the best country in the world. We're going through a little bit of a rough period right now, and, it's called inflation. It's not the end of the world. We're not losing our homes. Nobody's killing our babies or anything like that. So we will get through it. This is a time to find out what you're really made of. What can you handle? What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. So we will get through this time. It's just a rough period. Nothing is perfect, but we will get through it. But believe me, we live in the best country in the world, okay? We have so many advantages and resources and things that other countries couldn't even dream of. So even though we're going through inflation, what I'm trying to do is to get you to think outside the box. Thank God for everything that you have. And what you don't have, you just keep trying to get, saving for, sacrificing for, or whatever, and it will come. But nobody said it was going to be smooth sailing. Nobody said it was going to be easy. So we're going through our little rough patch. Let's see what we're made of here. And I think we're going to get through just fine. Just keep in mind, thank God that we live in the best country in the world. Why do you think everybody else is trying to get into this country? Because we got it so good here. Really, I just went on vacation. I just got back from Dominican Republic, and it was my first time because my husband does not like to fly. I have to beg, plead, do all kind of things to get him to go. And once he agrees to do it, he loves it. So we got on a plane, Dominican Republic. It was straight through from New York to DR. It's a little bit less than 4 hours. The resort we stayed at was absolutely beautiful. It was an amazing vacation. I wasn't there long enough. We went with family and friends, and it was for a wedding, and one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever seen. It looked like something on TV. But outside that resort, it's a third world country. It's considered a third world country. The people there are just really suffering. It's a very, very poor country outside of the resort. So they recommend that you don't go outside the resort. I didn't go outside the resort because the resort was just so huge. It had all these amenities, a golf course, water parks, casinos, and I didn't get to do all that because we were only there for 5 days. But next time I go, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer and get to enjoy some of those things. But getting back to my point, be grateful for everything that you have. and and know that we're in the best country in the world. And I miss my coworker Donna. Donna is going to be joining us every other week, so she should be here next week. That's my girl. But I want to give a shout out to Donna. I really miss her, and she wanted me to say hello to Marlene and to let her know that she'll be back next week. So, hi, Marlene, we miss you, and we will be back. Well, she'll be back next week, so tune in for Donna, and she'll be bringing her special prayers. I've never seen anybody pray like this woman. She can pray. I mean, it is just phenomenal. Some people are just gifted for things like that. And so I just want to give a shout out to her. And I'm also going to be having a life insurance specialist along with myself. We're going to be the week after next. We're going to be giving some information about life insurance because there are so many people in this country that's underinsured. And, if something happens, you don't understand the importance of insurance. So we just want to kind of reiterate and review how easy it is to get life insurance and, how much it's going to cost and things like that is entirely up to you because there's different types of life insurance. There's term life insurance, there's whole life insurance, there's universal life insurance, accidental life insurance. So basically, when we do that confidential needs analysis, we kind of sit down and just ask you a bunch of questions about life insurance, about your children. What life insurance, basically, it is to protect something or someone and to, leave a legacy. So say, for example, you're a couple and you just bought a house and the mortgage is $1,000 and the utilities are $1,000 and you're both working to pay for all the bills together. And of course you have a couple of kids, 2.3 kids, whatever that number is, so 2 kids. And so say we lose one part of the couple, one of the spouses passes, then that one that's left over cannot handle all of the bills that 2 people were paying for. So what they do, or what they should do, is have a life insurance policy to protect each other. So if one person dies, you can leave enough life insurance, say $200,000 or whatever the number happens to be, to pay off the house so that one surviving spouse would just have to maintain the utilities and the kids and things like that and would not have the burden of 2. If you did not do that, if you didn't have protection to cover the mortgage or what have you, then that one spouse, along with the children, would have to downsize and, maybe sell the house or, go into a different neighborhood, and which could mean a lot to a family because if you move out of certain neighborhoods, then you may have to switch your kids' schools. And a lot of people pick where they live because of the schools if they have children. So there's a lot of moving parts to that. So we just want to go over that a little bit and just kind of give you a little refresher of how important it is to have something in place along with, a budget and try to manage this inflation. It's not going to be like this forever. We survived it before. We survived it in 2008, 2001, and we'll survive it again. It's not one person's fault. I love the way, I'm watching the news and people are like, oh, this politician needs to go because inflation is so high. If it was up to one politician to, cause inflation to go that high, it's just impossible. You have to think about what you're hearing. You have to think about what you're saying. It's a lot of it has to do with that war in Ukraine. I think that's when all the trouble started. And let's think about that senseless, unnecessary, hateful war. They're just killing people. Why? Over a piece of land? Because I just can't even get into that. That's just so sad. So I think, anyway, that started everything. And they thought they would go in and wipe out Ukraine in, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever. That didn't happen. Ukraine is standing strong, and other allies are joining them. And it's just going to get ugly. I feel like we're entering, by starting that war, of course, the whole world is connected in one way or another. I just feel like we're starting World War III, or they started World War III. And, eventually US and China and everybody else is just going to have no choice but to protect, defend, or get involved. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope, that we can find a diplomatic solution, but when, you have people that have tunnel vision and people that are wired differently, it's tough. You can't do that on your own. So anyway, it's important to, to get with your family and to know what you have in terms of life insurance, in terms of retirement, and everything is kind of connected. It really is. So I would, always offer everyone a free confidential needs analysis to come to your home, cost you absolutely nothing, and to sit down with you and help you put together a budget and a plan, like a financial plan, to get your family in order. There's a lot of things that needs to be in place, in your life, especially if you're a senior, a boomer like myself. You need to have, life insurance, long-term care, health insurance, power of attorney, medical power of attorney. These, all these different things that, you'll need at the end of your life. One thing is not guaranteed is that, we're not going to live forever. And so that's something we have to prepare for. The inevitable is just something that we're going to have to do. So I got about 1 minute left, and I just want to leave you with this message one more time. Connecticut at Your Service, hosted by Carmen Nieves on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 p.m., 6:30 to 7 p.m. She's going to have a featured individual, and you can call in live, and that number is area code 203-345-0103. And I want to thank you very much for allowing me this time to share with you. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.